How's it going? We're back with another tutorial. Access Virus TI again for this one. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this Electro House Bass. As usual, I'll show you the sound and I'll get down to showing you how I made it step by step. Okay, here's the sound. So there it is. I really like this patch. It's a real sort of raspy, throaty electro bass. It's got a sub element that runs underneath it as well. Okay, so let's get down to it. Init the patch. Oscillator 1. This is a wave pulse width modulation. This one is adenoids. Pull the wavetable down to about 54. Pull it down 24 semitones, 2 octaves. Push the pulse width modulation up to about 10 o'clock. Keep everything else how it is. Sync the two oscillators together. Second oscillator is a 4-man complex, and this one is squeezy. Pull this one down 24 semitones as well, 2 octaves. Pull the wavetable back to about 29-30. Pull the detune down to 0. Pull the 4-man shift down to about 8 o'clock. The 4-man spread up to about 11. Keep the detune and interpolation where it is. Okay, for the FM mode, we change this to phase mod. Push the phase init to about 10 o'clock. Portamento, velocity, pulse width, everything else where it is. FM amount, just push it up just a tiny little bit to about 2. Okay, oscillator 3, set this to pulse. Pull this down 24 semitones as well, 2 octaves. Push the detune up to about 1 o'clock. Set the unison to twin. Keep the detune where it is. Push the pan spread to 12 o'clock and the LFO phase offset to 12 o'clock as well. Keep the oscillator 1-2 balance in the middle, oscillator 3 volume in the middle. Just push the saturation up slightly to in between the T and the U. Okay, right, I'll show you the sound just with the oscillators. Okay, pretty basic at the minute, but it's going to get better. So, filter section now. First filter, filter 1, is band pass. Pull it down to 49, 50. Push the envelope amount to about just past 9 o'clock. Keep it on positive. Don't check the analog mode, we'll just keep it as it is. Keep the resonance all the way down. Filter 2 is a low pass filter. Push this up to plus 10. Keep the envelope amount where it is, keep it on positive, keep the resonance where it is, everything else as it is. Right, it's filter saturation we had as a low pass. So saturation, just keep it between the A and the T. Filter envelope. I don't know whether this is a default for the filter envelope, but that's pretty much how I had it. I just pulled the decay back slightly to about 10 o'clock. Keep the attack where it is. Push the slope up to about 12 o'clock. Pull the release back to about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Okay, the amp envelope, keep everything as it is, just push the attack out ever so slightly. About 9, 10 o'clock. Keep the filter balance in between the two. Okay, I'll show you the sound when now the filters are in play. Okay, now on to the LFO section. I only use one LFO for this, and it's LFO 1. So check the link between oscillator 1 and 2 for the pitch, I pull this down slightly to about 11:30, click it to mono, change it to sine wave, set the clock to 4/1, keep the trigger phase where it is and the key follow where it is, the contour in the middle. Also, check this filter bank frequency. We haven't assigned the filter to this yet in FX1, but we will do in a minute. Same with this, pull it down ever so slightly, just to about 11 o'clock. Okay, that's it for the LFO section. Now we'll go on to FX1. I'll change the character to a speaker cabinet. This is what gives it that raspy sort of bite. Push the mix up slightly to about 39. Keep the tune where it is. Chorus, set as a classic. Keep everything as it is as standard. Push it up slightly, just that tiny little bit. Distortion, chilly overdrive. Pull the mix down to about 12 o'clock. Push the drive up to about 1 o'clock. Keep the high cut where it is. No phaser on this one. Filter bank. We've already set this to be modulated by the LFO slightly, but we'll choose a vowel filter. Pull the mix down to about 12, 1 o'clock. Push the vowel up to there, about 41%. Push the resonance around to about 83%, 85%. And the stereo phase about quarter of the way around, plus 121 degrees. For the EQ, just boost the low end ever so slightly, tiny little bit. Pull the gain down in the mids, move the frequency down so it's all in line, and the Q. Pull the gain of the highs down to about 11 o'clock. Keep the frequency where it is. Okay, I'll show you the sound with these effects on FX1 now. Okay, FX2, I use a bit of delay and a bit of reverb. You can hardly tell the reverb, but I'll still use it anyway. Turn the delay on, kept it at its default volume, 11.75. Kept it on simple delay. Set the clock to 1/6, so it's in between the beats. Push the feedback up to about there, just before 9 o'clock. Keep the colour, rate and depth all where they are for the LFO. So the reverb, turn it on. Leave it at minus 21.1 dB. Push the decay out a bit more to about 2 o'clock. Keep the damping where it is. Colour, time, everything where it is. I change this to small room. Set the pre-delay to a quarter note. Okay, I'll show you with these two effects on. Okay, so now it's just the matrix section. I used the filter envelope for the modulation on this because it had a real snappy attack and a short decay. I just wanted that bite to come in at the start of the notes, so I used it in the matrix section. Set this to filter envelope. And the first thing I used it to modulate was oscillator 2 shape index. Just flicks it around a bit. I pulled it up to about plus 37. The second one is a distortion mix. It's just pushing the distortion in with that short envelope. Pull this one down to about minus 29. And the last one is the filter bank resonance. This is the vowel filter resonance. The more resonance you have, the more prominent the vowels are. And we set the LFO to modulate the frequency, so it just gradually changes the vowel and the shape of the mouth making a vowel as it goes through this 4-bar loop that I've made. Okay, that's it for the modulation, and this is the sound done now. So I'll play it through a couple of times, and then I'll play it through with a beat that I've made. So there it is, an Electro House Bass. So there's a little bit going on. It's not too difficult though. I say the main part of this sound, where you get the raspiness from, the grittiness, what you associate with Electro House, is the speaker cabinet and the distortion. This chili overdrive is brilliant. I mean, you can play around with the amount of drive and the amount of mix. Same with the speaker cabinet, and that you get drastic effects. Okay, so that is it. As always, don't be afraid to ask if you've got any questions, if there's any sounds that you want me to make, whether it's with a Virus, Massive, Absinthe, or any other of the synths that I use. Okay, thanks again. Cheers.